Preparations for the first game are complete.
Preparations for the first game are complete.
There are text-to-speech programs online right now that don't sound all that different than he did in the series. So I challenged myself.
Can I make a character from a series that's already been shot sound more natural in English?
But first, a question. Which of these words has a higher pitch? Deep end. If you guessed deep, you're right.
But why does this even matter?
Well, it's about stress. Deep needs to have the higher pitch in order to show in English that it's the stressed word. When you stress the right word, people know what you're talking about.
If you stress the wrong word, though, you can sound angry, you can confuse people, or you can just sound less natural.
Here's this example from the front man.
Yes, a minor disturbance has taken place.
Notice that the stress here came on a word that isn't so common in natural English. Here is my modification.
Yes, a minor disturbance has taken place.
What's different? Well, I moved the stress, or at least I tried to.
By lowering the pitch on taken.
This makes it sound less stressed. I also tried to raise the pitch on place, which is normally stressed in this expression. Can you hear a difference?
Yes, a minor disturbance has taken place. Yes, a minor disturbance has taken place.
Now, stressed words are generally a little longer than words you don't want to stress. So another technique I used in changing the frontman's English was to lengthen some of our stress words, so that way they took up more time. You can hear that again in this audio.
Yes, a minor disturbance has taken place.
I actually slowed down how he said place by about 32%. Now this also means that words I'm not stressing need to be shortened and cut a little bit. To demonstrate, here's an example of native speakers saying this phrase.
That has taken place.
That has taken place.
That has taken place.
Now compare it to how he said it.
Has taken place.
There's so much stress that he puts on the word taken that it doesn't sound natural. Another word too, has. Compare it again to how native speakers were saying it. He has it very clearly, so I'm going to reduce it a little bit more, speed it up, take off a little bit of the sound. This is what I've created.
Has taken place.
Another part of pronunciation that you need to pay attention to, though, is also intonation. Compare this and this. Now, I can't change the intonation patterns that the front man is using exactly, but I can play around with his pitches. So I can lower the pitch for one part of a word, and then I can raise it at the end. And that can almost make it sound like it's rising. Here's an example.
This is the frontman speaking.
Notice, in the original how he says speaking, he's using more of a falling intonation.
Speaking.
In my version, because the pitch goes higher, it sounds rising.
Speaking. Speaking.
Paying attention to stress, reductions, and intonation, I was able to create audio files like this and these other ones that you're about to hear. Let me know in the comments which ones you think sound more natural.
This is the frontman speaking. This is the frontman speaking. Preparations for the first game are complete. Preparations for the first game are complete. Yes, a minor disturbance has taken place. Yes, a minor disturbance has taken place. I'm happy to hear you enjoyed the game. I'm happy to hear you enjoyed the game.
If you like Squid Game and you liked changing this pronunciation, check out this video for more.